Jana Vallabha Girdharidhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girdharidhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girdharidhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girdharidhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari 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 Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tiravanachari Jamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girdharidhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girdharidhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Jamuna Tiravanachari Jamuna Tiravanachari Jamuna Tiravanachari Jamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari 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 Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Prakacharya Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Brajbhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय जगन्नाथ श्रेष्ठ धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय गौर प्रेमानंदी all glories to the assembled all glories to the assembled all glories to the assembled all glories to Guru and Gauranga Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So we are reading from Canto 5, Chapter 4, text number 18, the characteristic of Rishabdev. Now, I have marked that, so we're going to go according to that, right? Okay. Bhagavate Rishabena parikshayama etasmin vareshnaha. Bhagavate Rishabena parikshayamana etasmin varenaha. Bhagavata Rishabena parikshayamena etasmin vareshnaha. Kaschana purusho vanchati avidyamanaham. Kaschana purusho vachanti avidyamanam. Ivatmano anyasata kathanchana kampi kanchita avekshate. Ivatmano anasyata kathanchaha kimampi karhichite avekshate. Bharati anushavanam vijambhita sneha sistaham antarane. Bharti anushvanaham vijambhitah snehatis sayam antarane. Bhagavat Rishabena parikshayama itasmin varasenaha. Bena parikshayaham etasmin vareshahana. Kaschanaha purusho vachanti avidyamanaham. Ivatmano anasmat kathanchana kimapi karhichit avekshate. Bharti anushmanam vijmabhitah snehatistah yam antarane. Anyone wants to try? Bhagavate Rishabena parikshayamana etasmin varesenaha. Kaschana purusho vachanti avidyamanaham. Ivatano nasyata kathanchaha kimpai karchid avekshate. Bhartai anuvasmam vijambhita snehatishayam antarena. Bhagavata, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishabena, King Rishab, Parikshayamena, being protected, Etasmin, on this, Varshe, planet, Na, not, Kaschana, anyone, Purusha, even a common man, Panchihati, desires, Avidyamanam, not existing in reality. Iva, as if. Atmana, for himself. Anyasmat, for everyone else. Kathanchana, by any means. Kimapi, anything. Karhichit, at any time. Avekshate, does care to see. Bhartari, towards the Master. Anushmavanam, always. Vijar Vita, expanding. Sneha Atisayam, very great affection. Antarena, within oneself. Translation: no one likes to possess anything that is like will of the whip, will of the whip, or a flower in the sky, for everyone knows very well that such things do not exist. When Lord Rishabdev ruled this planet of Bharatvash, even common men did not want to ask for anything, at any time or by any means. No one ever asked for a will of the whip. In other words, everyone was completely satisfied, and therefore there was no chance of anyone asking for anything. The people were absorbed in great affection for the king. Since this affection was always expanding, they were not inclined to ask for anything. The purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In Bengal, the word Godha Dimba is used, which means the egg of a horse. Since a horse never lays an egg, the word Godha Dimba actually has no meaning. In Sanskrit, there is a word Kaha Pushpa, which means the flowers of the sky. No flowers grows in the sky. Therefore, no one is interested in an asking for Kaha Pushpa or Godha Dimba. During the reign of Maharaj Rishabdev, people were so well equipped that they did not want to ask for anything. They were immensely supplied with all necessities for life due to King Rishab's good government. Consequently, everyone felt full satisfaction and did not want anything. This is the perfection of government. If the citizens are unhappy due to bad government, the head of the government are condemned. During these democratic days, monarchy is disliked by the people, but here is an example of how an emperor of the whole world kept all the citizens fully satisfied by supplying their necessities of life and following the Vedic principle. Thus everyone was happy during the reign of Maharaj Rishabdev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshurul Miltam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swayam Padantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Udapada Kamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sahagrajatam Sahagna Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadbhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagna Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Tam Sajivam Vanchakalpatarubhaisya kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. He Krishna karuna sindhu dinbandhu jagatpate gopesha gopika kant radha kant namastute tapta kanchan gaurangi radhe vrindavaneshwari vrishabhanusute devi pranamami hari priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Siva Sadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Tamal Krishna Goswami Ti Namne. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Ti Namne. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarani. Hare Krishna. So we are talking about characteristics of Rishabdev. We are talking about characteristic of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because Rishabdev is expansion of Krishna. So when Rishabh became the leader of the emperor of the world, when he became the king, it shows it tells in this particular verse that how everybody was so happy because everybody was provided with everything. And this is the nature of a government that is fully sanctioned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this case, Rishabh was himself a expansion of Krishna. But we also see that when they're not even, in this case, when the devotees of Krishna, for example, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, everybody was so happy because they were doing everything. Now, how do you provide everything? There's different ways. Different people think that at the time of death, when you take a new birth, you have karma. And according to karma, you get happiness and distress, unhappiness or happiness, according to your karma. But how do you get all this happiness and everything? And the main thing is that you have to perform sacrifice. Sacrifice is everything, because when you do sacrifice, for example, the demigods get their share, they become happy, and they provide everything that is required by the citizens, right? Now, in different ages, there were different types of sacrifices. When Lord Ramchandra was here, they used to do big yagnas, yagna sacrifices. When Lord Krishna was here, mostly deity worship was going on. But in this age of Kali Yuga, our sacrifice, form of sacrifice is Sankirtan. If you just do Sankirtan, everything else will be taken care of. You don't have to do other bits, The other bits supplements this Yuga Dharma, which is Sankirtan. Deity worship and everything, actually, the main thing is Sankirtan, Whatever we do, even we do deity worship, we bite the Lord and everything, Kirtan is always going on. So that is the main thing you have to do, Rishabdev was so powerful that he wasn't dependent on the demigods. So different parts of different histories or different teachings that comes of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and Vedic scriptures is to tell us certain aspects of the Lord, When this basically shows that when the Lord is happy, when you worship the Lord, when the Lord is satisfied, then you don't have to worry about individually worshipping the demigod. Lord Indra got envious of Rishabdev, so he stopped giving rain to his area. And then Rishabdev, by his own mystic power, created his own rain. So this is how powerful Lord is. He is not dependent on anybody, and even some of the devotees of Krishna are so powerful. So we also know of another pastime, where Indra also did the same thing, and this is the time of Kartik. We are very coming close to Govardhan Puja, So I thought I'll mention a few things. And one of the devotees asked me, in separation, because we can't come to the temple now, one of our very popular festivals is Govardhan Puja, So how you can do Govardhan Puja in this time, So I asked him, listen to the class and I'll try to shed some light on it, So let's talk about first Govardhan Puja, And to see the power of the demigods and the power of Lord Krishna. So the point I want to derive from this class is, there are many points that you can derive, but what I want to you to focus on is that when you worship Krishna, you do not have to worship anyone else, whether it's demigods, powerful, or anybody. Right? So if you have Krishna as a friend, he'll always protect you and always maintain you. And this is the story we're going to get out of that. So what happens is that roughly about 5,000 years ago, when Krishna was performing his pastimes on this earthly planet, one day there was a big festival going on. There were great preparation being done, a lot of things were being cooked, and fancy kind of food were cooked, And the Krishna went and asked Mother Yashoda, Maya, what's happening? Why all this fancy food is being cooked? And why there's so much of this is cooked, And Yashoda Maya said, Lala, I'm very busy, I've got a lot of cooking to do, How about you go and ask Nanda Baba, Then Lala goes to Nanda Baba and says, Baba, why are we doing all this thing? What is going on, Why there's so many preparation is there? Are we going to perform some sacrifice? Is this a tradition, What is it? Explain me, Nanda Baba looks at Lala and says, he's so young, How he can understand all these things, And then Krishna starts speaking to him, Now we are family, You have to tell me, You can't keep secrets from me, And then in the end, Nanda Baba gives up and he says, okay, Lala, this is what we do, We are farmers, right? We need rain. And Lord Indra is in charge of rain. So we have to worship him. This is a tradition in our families that we worship him. And not only me, a lot of other people also worship him, And then he gives us rain. And because due to the rain, we have nice green grass, we can do our farming, we can do our agriculture and everything, So this is why we worship, And then Krishna, he gives karma mimamsa philosophy, It basically means is that these are the group of people who do not believe that there is God, there is a supreme controller. So he's saying, Baba, everything is dependent on our karma, At the time of birth, whatever karma we are supposed to get, whether happiness or unhappiness, we're going to get, Indra can't do anything, Nobody can do anything. So everything is dependent on our karma, And if we are supposed to get happiness, if we are supposed to get rain, we are supposed to get grains, if we are supposed to get food, then Indra has to supply it because he doesn't have a choice, right? And what Krishna was trying to do is make Indra angry. Because Indra is a devotee of Krishna. But he was a bit puffed up. He thought he was the most powerful being in this universe. So Krishna is very merciful to his devotees. If the devotees gets puffed up, then he tries to break the puff. Once a pastime about Narad Muni who got, he thought he was a brahmachari, he was the most celebrated, that he does not get attracted by the opposite sex, So to break his false ego, Krishna actually created a beautiful woman, Basically expanded himself, And then when Narad Muni saw this beautiful lady, he got so enchanted and he went to Krishna and said, Krishna, make me so beautiful, make me just like Hare, so that I can be so beautiful that when this woman, in the Swayamvar, she chooses me, So Krishna said, Tathastu, so be it, So he made him Hare, right, just like Hare. So when he was there, everybody was there, this beautiful lady was going, and Narad Muni was so happy, she gonna put garland on me. And then the lady just passes him, And then she goes and worships, puts the garland on Lord Vishnu, And Narad got so upset, I'm so beautiful, I'm like Hare, So he got upset. He went and sat by a lake, thinking what has happened, because he was so attracted to this woman, And then he saw his picture in the, the reflection in the water, and he saw Hare, So another word for Hare is monkey, So Krishna made his face look like a monkey, So he missed that. So and then at that time, he actually cursed, I think, Lord Vishnu, that just like you have created this situation for me where I was attracted to her so much, you'll be also deprived of, you'll be also in separation, And that's what, and Lord Ramchandra, or when Lord Ramchandra appeared, that separation from Sita was one of the things that basically happen. And it's all pastimes, It also says that whenever a devotee says something, it happens, This is why when Brahmans say something, it generally happens. So when you are Brahmans, you should not be even joking, Because when you even jokingly can say something, it can actually happen, The Kshatriyas and the Brahmins are very powerful in this way, especially the words of a Brahman. And this is not, I'm talking about any Brahman that is born in a Brahman family. I'm talking about, twice born Brahman who have the qualities, Just like that, what was the name of the boy who cursed Shringi who kissed, even though he was not qualified, he kissed Parikshit Maharaj, So this is the words of the Brahman. So if you have taken second initiation, you just be careful, Don't joke to people, things might happen, As far as the Vaishyas are concerned, their words don't count a lot because they change the words. The Brahmins speak according to the scriptures, right? Kshatriyas are basically controlled by Brahmins, so they actually are truthful as well. But the Vaishyas are the ones who are governed by profit. So they bend the truth according to profit making, They tell a bit lies in here, there. And the Sudras, they talk according to the level of their consciousness they are in. So, so Krishna was speaking like this, and he finally convinced, that Nanda Baba, we should actually do. Nanda Baba basically, he said, we should actually worship who we are, rather than worship Indra and everybody. Why don't we worship the Brahmins? Because those are the ones who actually provide everything for us. We worship them. We worship the cows because they give us milk and everything. And we worship Govardhan because that's where they actually get the grass and everything, So finally convincing him, and then even though Nanda Baba said, don't worry, we'll do another yagna for them. Let's do this for Lord Indra, and the next one we'll do for them. And Krishna said, no, let's not wait, it will take a lot of time. Let's do it now, And when Krishna wants anything, namely, it happens, We see in normal householders, when the kids want something, generally the parents give in, Now this is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, how can somebody defy, Most of the time I ask people, there's like, who is the boss in the house, The parents think they are the boss, the father thinks they are the boss, but actually the kid is the boss, Because whatever he wants, that's how most of the things happens, And I was listening to Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, and he was talking about people who have dogs, He said, there's a dog, right, who is looked after by everybody, And there's another dog who does all the work for the other dog, So that's what the life is like, We work so hard, looking after the dog, and the other dog is the one who is enjoying, So we should actually become Krishna's dog, so that we can actually save Krishna very nicely, like that. So finally, Nanda Baba said, okay, we'll do the yagna, So he said, how do we do it, He basically said, what we're going to do is, we're going to cook nice offerings, do yagya, and then we get the Brahmins to chant all the auspicious mantras and everything. And then we feed the Brahmins, we give them charity and everything, and we also feed everybody else, even those who are lower class, chandals and everybody. We give them nice prasadam. We also give nice grass to the cows, we feed them very nicely. And after everything is done, then we go and worship Govardhan. So that's what the Brajbasis did. They went, after worshipping the Brahmins, looking after the cows and everything, Then they finally went to Govardhan and they cooked all nice foods, whatever was kept for Lord Indra's service. They cooked very nice, different varieties of foods, sweets, savories and everything. And then with the help of the Brahmins, they offered everything to Krishna, to Govardhan. And then as they were offering, Govardhan, Krishna took the form of Govardhan, sat on top, and he started eating everything. And Krishna said, look, Govardhan is so happy, with our service, Indra doesn't even come to actually accept all this, but Govardhan is accepting everything, he's eating everything, And then everything just like this finished, And in the end, he was asking for more. Aniyor, give me more. Brajbasis were running to home, getting whatever was left in the house, And when everything was finished, they didn't know what to do, And then Balram actually gave a tulsi leaf to Govardhan, and he was satisfied after that, And after that, taking that prasadam, everything, they were so happy, and then they put the cows in front, all the gopas and everybody, and they circumambulated the Govardhan hill, And that's more or less what we do, That's how Krishna asked us to do. So we do the same thing here in the temple. We make a hill, we put Krishna on top, we put all different types of prasadam and everything, and then we worship Krishna, circumambulating him at least 4 times, and then we accept the prasadam. So now the question, to answer the question, how do we worship Govardhan away when we are not here? First thing is you can do worship, if you have Govardhan Sila, you can worship, or you can put Krishna, you make a little hill and do something similar like that on a smaller scale, Right? That's one way of doing, I know Krishna Chandra asked me what to do. I said, make a nice cake, you got Govardhan Sila, put some sweets around it, put him in the Sila on top, and then like a hill you walk around and of Aarti, that's the one way of doing it, But I was thinking, since we are not here, why don't we do it opulently, So how do we do it, So I'll give you our pastimes. And then we're going to go to this. Once there was a Brahman. This Brahman was very poor. But he wanted to actually worship the Lord, And he wanted to offer him nice preparation, And he knew that he had the story about Kirchor Gopinath. So he thought, I'll make some nice sweet rice for him, So he sits down in there, right, in his meditation, He gets the best milk, puts it on the milk, on the stove, and starts slowly cooking it, right. And then he gets the most fragrant rice, puts it in the rice after washing it, and cooks it slowly, Once the rice and everything was cooked, he put saffron in there, nice, to make it nice flavor. The rice was cooked, and then it was time to do the offering. So one thing we do here is that, especially I've seen devotees when they boil milk, they boil it right at the end and they put the milk on the plate which is boiling hot, Now can we drink the milk like that, if it's that hot, So this Brahman was thinking, let's see if it is warm enough, it is cooled down enough to actually offer it to Krishna. So he put his finger in the sweet rice, and then his finger got bent, And then he woke up, got out of his meditation, he saw his fingers bent, So this basically shows that we can actually do Manasik Puja, and it is accepted by Krishna, just like his finger got bent, There's another pastime there about milk, I'll just sidetrack a bit, is once Radharani went to Chandravali's place. Chandravali is Radharani's sister. Actually, they were together. They were born of the same parent, but once Putna came and stole both of them. And then once she was overbrought, something happened and she dropped the 2 kids. So one fell at Brijbhanu's place and the other, Radhika and Chandravali fell at Chandrabhanu's place. So they became cousins because Chandrabhanu and Brijbhanu were brothers. So they were, but actually they were sisters. So Radharani went to Chandravali's place, and Chandravali gave milk to Radharani. Just like when you go there, nice milk, hot milk. And when Radharani drank the milk, it was so hot, her tongue got bent. And next day, Krishna came to Chandravali, and he was like, my mouth is all bent. And she said, what happened, And he said, you offered hot milk to Radharani, and when she drank, my mouth got bent, So we should be careful when we do offering, if possible, Try to actually make sure that we have to treat Krishna as God, He's a person, Just like treat yourself, everything has to be warm, not cold. At the same thing, everything shouldn't be boiling hot, So the point is that Manasik Puja. So how do you do this, The best is to actually find a quiet place, where nobody can disturb you, And give yourself half an hour, 20 minutes, whatever time you have got, And sit down. If you have got a picture of Govardhan, it's very nice, Keep the picture in front of you. and then you can, once you do this, close your eyes so that you don't get distracted by it, but don't fall off to sleep, If you're tired, then keep your eyes open. But if you are, one thing good to do is if it is night, then turn the lights off and keep your eyes open. That way you can't see anything, but you don't fall off to sleep. Right? So closing your eyes, you pray to your Guru Maharaj, pray to Prabhupada, pray to the Parampara, so that actually worship Giriraj Maharaj. And I was thinking about it, what is the best way to do it, So first thing is now, because it's Manasik Puja, you can do this at any extent, So why do it here? Why don't we go to Govardhan, Why don't we go to Vrindavan, Those who have been there can go there and in your mind and be there, So when you are there now, it's early in the morning, right? We know Govardhan Puja is to go on together. You are there, your spiritual master is there, Prabhupada is there, Prabhupada's disciples is there, Jayapataka Maharaj is there, his Holiness Bhakti-Charu Maharaj is there, Bibi Govinda Maharaj is there, all the disciples are there. All of them have been gathered, Under the direction of his spiritual master, you go and take a bath, Manasi Ganga would be nice, take a bath there, Go there, Paya Dandavat Manasi Ganga, put a few drops of water on your head, and then enter the water, offer the water, put the water in your hands and then offer it to Manasi Ganga, Do this 3 times and then take a bath. After taking bath, then put tilak, get ready nicely, put nice clothes, new clothes, silk clothes, because you're going to actually worship the Lord, Then you come where Guru Maharaj is there, everybody is there, and what you have to do now is prepare everything. So you have to cook a big feast, right? So you get the best. Guru Maharaj instructed you to make sweet rice, so you're trying to say this fire set up. It's cow dung is burning underneath, and you got nice matkas, what do you call that, right? Pots, the clay pots are there, and you put milk in there. Now what kind of milk it is this, it is fragrance milk, It's the same milk that Yashoda Maya actually milks the cow every day, It's called Padmagandha, It is so fragrance, The grass the cows eat is so fragrance, and the milk is even more fragrance, Now you have had milk these cows a few days before, and you had made some yogurt, You have hanged the yogurt too, They're ready to be made into Shrikhand, Now you're making sweet rice, There are 4 pots of different sweet rices going, Then you go at Govinda rice, Govinda rice is very fragrance, right? You wash this rice and you put it in all the milk, and the rice is slowly cooking, and you're keeping an eye on that, And at the same time you prepare, you've got saffron on one side, and then you've got some cardamom on there, and then you got some mangoes and some berries, right? The berries you have cooked lightly yesterday, and then you just stewed it so it's nice and soft, right? As the milk is boiling, it's coming to the close, it's very close to it. You put sugar, you put saffron, and the other one. The other 2, you let it cool down, put it in a cool place, When it gets cool, then you put the mangoes in there so it doesn't kettle up, The other one, you put the berries in there, Shrikhand is getting ready, somebody's whisking it, you put icing sugar, like that, All the sweets are there, and somebody's making malpura, there's so many devotees, and you're putting in these golden plates, heaps of it, just like hills, Then you start, all the sweets are done, then you start cooking savories because you still want this to be hot, So you make savories, pakoras, so many different types of aloo bonda, you make 10, 15 types of chutney, Radharani loves plum chutney, somebody's making heaps of plum chutney there, right? All mango chutney is going in there, Then so many fruits are cut out there, and then you start making sabjis, Somebody brings a truckload of paneer, and then you start making different paneer, chili paneer, there's like, butter paneer, makhan paneer, Then so many dals are made, different types of this, and everything's made, And then it's time to take an offer to Giriraj, So you take and to all the food to Giriraj, you place it in front of them, and your spiritual master offers everything, After offering it so nicely, everything is there, then you worship the Lord, you do the arti, and you have got chamar that has golden, and right. The lamps are all made of gold, It's a big golden plate, so nicely. Flowers are best flowers, most fragrant flowers, Lotus flower, this is a big bowl that you can offer it to Giriraj, And you do very nice arti, After arti is done, you help your Guru Maharaj, assist in him. He's doing the arti, you light the incense, you light the lamp and everything, and very nicely. The thing is that when we're doing worship like that, you should always do it under the direction of your spiritual master. Right? Don't try to do everything yourself. The meditation should be, you'll be there. And then after that, you save all the devotees there. They line up. Prabhupada is sitting on top. And all his disciples are sitting there. Your Guru Maharajas are all sitting there. We save them nicely. Prasadam. Once they have all taken prasadam, then you save everybody else. Then you see that Prabhupada's remnant, your Guru Maharaj got some, and then you get the remnant, so that you get Maha Prasadam, remnant of Prabhupada and your Guru Maharaj, Taking this prasadam, then everybody gets up, you clean up, and then it's time to do the prakrima, And then you go around, you go to different places, and then there's a tremendous kirtan is going on, Prabhupada is doing the kirtan, he's leading everybody, and then different Guru Maharajas take lead, and there's like hundreds of thousands of devotees doing kirtan, the cows, the monkeys, they're all going together, all the Brajbasis are going there, and then finally you go around all to different places, listen to pastimes in different places, and then come around. And this is, by the time you come back to your place, it's evening, Then you have a big kirtan, and then have a big class, basically what happened, how Indra, got, how did the Govardhan Puja, how Krishna actually lifted Govardhan hill, And because Indra got so upset, so there's a big rain, he wanted to actually destroy everything. So he told the Sambharta clouds, go there and destroy everything, So they came, and they were scared, they had some idea that Krishna is God, So he said, no, don't worry, you go and I'll follow you, So they come, and then Krishna, Indra also comes with wind, and, and then they started actually raining, So it was not just a rain. The rains were just like, they said, khamba, Khamba is like a post, Not only that, there were big ice blocks, hails, They were all falling, destroying all the trees, everything in there, And then when everybody got scared, what's going to happen? They were all shivering because it was so cold. Then they said, they prayed to Krishna, please Krishna protect us. Krishna, knowing that Indra was behind all this, he said, okay, don't worry, come over, and he lifted Govardhan hill, And he lifted Govardhan hill and asked everybody to enter, and said, don't worry, it won't fall on your head, So everybody was there, and Krishna lifted that for 7 days, right? And all the Brajbasis were protected under that for 7 days, So if you really look at it, there's two things, Usually, the Brajvasis were, tortured, they suffered so much at the hands of Indra. But at the same time, they also had something they longed for before, right? So the suffering was because of all the rain and everything. But the good side of this was because, Astakal Lila, usually what happens in Braj is that Krishna wakes up in the morning, and he's with the Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba and a few of the elderly people who are at home, right? The Gopas are there. The Gopis are far away cooking, and they're looking from the side. So it's mostly the parents are in charge in there. After Krishna leaves to look after the cows, then the parents are left behind. So they are in separation, and Krishna is with his boyfriends, all the gopas are with him, And then midday, Krishna leaves the gopas and he is with the gopis at Radhakund, In the afternoon, the gopas and they meet again and they go to Nandagram where Krishna is with his parents, And the gopis are miss out, And then when Krishna goes to sleep, everyone is in separation. And midnight, Krishna is with the gopis, So there are different times where different people are with Krishna. But for the 7 days, everyone was with Krishna. And because everybody was looking at Krishna, nobody was looking anybody else. So during the day, when Krishna was there, the gopis could not look directly at Krishna. They used to only give sidelong glances, because there were elders there. But here everybody was just focused on Krishna, so everybody could look at Krishna, except Radharani. You know why not Radharani? Yeah, so what happened is that Krishna was there, he was looking at smiling at everybody, and then his eyes fell on Radharani. As soon as his eyes fell on Radharani, finish, The hill starts shaking, and he was about to fall, and then everybody started shouting, what's going on, Then Krishna realized, because when he's in ecstasy, forget about whatever is on his hand, even his pants falls off, his dhoti falls off, So, then he looked around, what's going on. He looked at Balram. Balram was smiling, So Krishna thought, oh, he has seen me looking at the gopis, he's seen me looking at Radharani, So he became shy, But actually Balram was smiling because what everybody was thinking, all the elderly gopas, Radha Yashoda Maya said, help Krishna, So all the gopas, they have this stick to look after the cows. They were holding the Govardhan like this. And who's that? Madhu Mangali said, don't worry, I'm holding it with my own power. I've got so much mystic power by chanting mantras, like that. I can hold it on my hand, And then Krishna moved a little bit, Then everybody realized, they were not in control, So Balram was laughing because of that. But Krishna thought he actually saw him, So these are some of the nice pastimes, that happen, This is the time to actually think about it, This is Kartik time. These are the pastimes that happen in Kartik, and listen to it and worship Giriraj. It's happening on Saturday. Unfortunately, not many people will come. Actual celebration is on Monday, I think, but we celebrating here on Saturday. Take. I have to go, because I have to make some sweets and things for, so that we can, those people who are not able to come to the temple, they can actually get some prasadam. And also, I have to cook Rajbhog as well. So, any questions, any comments? Take. Grantha Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jaya.